Hi, I'm Andrea Graves, Director of Operations at the Retirement Education Center. And we want to thank you for tuning in to our Retirement Education Center Tuesday Tips. We created our Tuesday Tips in order to provide you with quick, simple ideas to help you reach your retirement goals. For additional concepts on how to maximize your retirement income, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notification bell to be notified when we upload new videos.
Hi, I'm Carson Graves, President and CEO of the Retirement Education Center, and I want to welcome you again to our Tuesday Tips, where today what we are going to be discussing is why do Roth conversions. Now, one of the main reasons why you want to do a Roth conversion is that basically you're going to be paying taxes today versus paying taxes tomorrow. And why would you do that? Because we do not know where taxes are going to be tomorrow. We know they're not going to be zero. And so it's always important to consider doing a Roth conversion. Now, it's not for everybody. And so you want to speak to your advisor about if it's right for you. But they can be very beneficial for two reasons, basically. One, as I mentioned, you're going to have tax-free income from these accounts later in your retirement years. And two, because of the implementation of the Secure Act recently, your beneficiaries will have to take funds out of these accounts within 10 years. And they will certainly appreciate if they did not have a tax burden for themselves when they actually receive these dollars. And so it's a very good legacy and estate play as well. So let's talk about Roth conversions and the reasons why you might want to consider doing this. Stay locked in. Now, one of the main points that I want to start out with, that if everything stays the same, a Roth conversion would not even be of consideration at all to anyone. So let's take a look at our table here real quickly. So let's just say that we have pre-tax funds of $25,000, one in a traditional IRA, pre-tax, and one in a Roth IRA that we're considering to convert. And when you look at the tax rates right now, for the traditional IRA, it's going to be zero because we're not touching those funds right now. But for the Roth IRA, let's just assume that we're in a 22% tax bracket and we're going to convert those funds. Your after-tax values for the traditional IRA is going to be $25,000, and for the Roth is going to be $19,500. Now, let's just say we're going to look out 5 years later. We're going to retire in 5 years. Let's say hypothetically we're going to average 7% return. So we're looking at a traditional IRA and a Roth. Well, the after-tax or pre-tax gains for the traditional IRA is going to be $35,064, where the Roth IRA is going to be $27,350. Now, let's just assume that we're still in a 22% tax bracket. Well, in this instance, we're not going to pay any more taxes on the Roth IRA. In this instance here, though, the account values are exactly the same as you can see here. Nothing to see here at all. And if you aren't going to be in this situation, or you assume you may be in a situation like this or a tax bracket lower, then a Roth conversion may not be something that you want to consider. But let's assume that things don't stay the same. Let's assume we have the exact same scenario, but when we actually reach retirement, we're in the 33% tax bracket. Now you're going to have to pay taxes on this traditional IRA. So take a look at the value now. The traditional IRA at this point is going to be at $23,492, whereas the Roth IRA, we already have paid taxes on it, is at $27,350 for you to use. So this would be a reason why you may want to consider doing a Roth IRA, because your taxes may go up in retirement and you want to be ahead of the game. You want to control the probability of your success when it comes to taxes on your retirement funds. We know that things don't always stay the same, right? And this is why you should possibly consider doing a Roth conversion. Now, one of the things that we do know is that the tax laws and the tax brackets may change in 2026 because the Jobs Act and tax cuts of 2017 will expire at that time if Congress does not act and actually extend those tax cuts. Also, you may report a higher income in the future. A lot of times when people start out in their jobs, they end up making a lot more money later down the road. So you could possibly be in a higher tax bracket once you actually retire and you start taking funds from your retirement accounts. And last but not least, as I mentioned, your beneficiaries you have to consider if you're wanting to do legacy planning. Now, if you don't care about the beneficiaries receiving those dollars and having to pay taxes on them, then that is totally not a consideration for you. But if you do, this is something that you have to consider when it comes to passing those funds down to your beneficiaries if they're not a spouse. So what do we know? Now, if Congress does not decide to extend the tax cuts that we're currently in right now, in 2026, these are what the tax brackets are going to go up to. If they do not extend the tax cuts that we're in right now, we do know in 2026, taxes are going to go up. Now, if you're in the 10% tax bracket, it's going to remain the same. But if you're in the 12% tax bracket, you're going to then be in the 15% tax bracket now. If you're in the 22% tax bracket, it's going to go to the 25% tax bracket. 24% to 28%. 32% tax bracket will go up to 33%. The 35 will remain the same. So the 10 and the 35 will remain exactly the same. But if you're in the highest tax bracket of 37%, you're going to go up to the 39.6% tax bracket, almost 40%. So if you were going to do a Roth conversion, now would be the appropriate time to consider doing that. So I really hope that the information that we shared with you today regarding Roth conversions will be beneficial for you. Please remember that these videos are created for educational purposes only, and that you should always seek out your own financial advisor, your own tax advisor, and your own attorney regarding your personal situation. Also, if you are looking for a fiduciary financial advisor to help you with these types of complex financial matters, we highly recommend that you utilize the links in our description below and go ahead and schedule a 1-hour free consultation with us today. If you do have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like this video, and share it with others.